Okay. Ah! God damn. Hold on. Okay. Let's turn down the my neck here. Technical difficulties, people. Hold on. Do I have everything set up? Mm-hmm. Hair doesn't look so good, but that's okay because I just had to fix it up after coming home from work, everybody. Alrighty then, folks. I think I'm still too close to the camera, aren't I? Just scoot this up a bit. Let's adjust this real quick, people. Okay. Is everything good? Hold on. Let me just I cannot cannot move this microphone a bit closer to me. But okay, well, yeah, I think maybe I could just probably put this on the side sometime, but excuse me, folks. Trying to see how I can angle this. How's the audio here? Is it good? Is it very good? Huh. All right, we're 1 minute into the stream. God damn, this freaking hair. Let me see. You know what? I could. Hope I don't have to hurt the microphone a bit here. Let me see what I can do. Let me see. No, I think we're already here. We're already in this. So I don't know. Pretty sure this sounds fine. Sounds kind of fine. Sounds kind of good here. If maybe next time I could just probably like have this a bit on the side here, and then I could just move it a bit here to my face a bit closer, and it won't be so bad. But you know what? We're just gonna have to deal with it here. I'm gonna still adjusting to this kind of setup here. Okay. Well then, with that, folks, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Hollywood Live Show. And yes, folks, yes, we are doing Supergirl. We're doing a spoiler discussion. Once again, I failed to set up OBS, but I will try to get it up and running as soon as I can. But in the meantime, folks, got my 60. And now the cushion went up my ass. Got my $60 Superman short. Let me shorten my fucking $6 Superman costume here that I got on Amazon from last Halloween, and I look pretty good. It's a Mexican Superman. And yeah, it's your boy, your host, Super Asshole. I'm kidding. It's me, your boy Javi, right here. And we're doing a kind of, I would say, a spoiler, like an hour-long video stream, pretty much. And it was like a nice 30 to 40-minute spoiler discussion. Not much I can say. You know, I'm not gonna do this for every DC film, but for now, while the DC's, you know, nice, steady pace, why not talk about this? Kind of like how we did with Obsession. I'm gonna do my best to try to. Actually, no, this is not gonna be like Obsession. This is more like me just highlighting certain things and just talking about what I liked, what I disliked, and some things that hopefully we can improve on, and things that have come out. Things have been coming out lately of the production of this film, and why not just quickly address it here in the channel here. We're gonna wait for more people to come in, but anyways, folks, the show has begun. It started. Let's get this show on the road here. Like I said, this is a hour-long stream, hopefully, or a 40-minute live stream for a 30-minute spoiler discussion and all that stuff. So, alrighty then, folks. I'm gonna give me about at least 10 minutes before more people come in. How y'all's day doing today? Day's doing pretty good here. Oh boy, I might also have to. It might get a little hot in this because this is kind of a muscle suit, people. Hey, look, I'm not a muscular dude, but I know I got meat. I might later in a few moments, I might have to turn on the air conditioner because kind of gets a little hot in this suit. Even though I have my Batman shirt and my shorts underneath this costume, but it is fine. It is comfy. You know what? I'd like to sleep in this thing one day. Who knows? You know, fantasy night, if you know what I mean. Anyways, people, once again, how's everybody's day doing today? Day's doing pretty good. Thank goodness I shaved today. I look nasty as hell with facial hair. How's everybody's 4th of July? Mine was pretty good. You guys have tuned into the stream during the 4th of July. I hope you guys enjoyed that stream. Me and Max had a lot of fun doing it. Very fun. It went a bit longer than I thought. I was aiming for like a 2-hour stream because I did have to go to work extra early in the morning. And well, kind of went out for almost 3 hours, but you know what? That's fine. Hey, it did pretty good for how much I have for subscribers. It's pretty good. And I really appreciate for everybody coming in and supporting the streams and all that stuff, and coming in later for supporting this one here. And if I'm not looking at the camera, looking at how the camera's looking, how everything's looking here. But yeah, folks, no, I really appreciate it. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, people. Oh my God, I really look fat as hell with this, but whatever. You know what? I look less fat with this. I think this suit is making me. Then again, I am trying to lose weight. I am working out. I'm actually gonna. I finally canceled my gym membership, and I'm gonna start working out at home. I don't know if I can get rid of all these extra chins here, but yeah, my hair is pretty messed up. But whatever. Hey, look, I look like a super crackhead, if you say. So I like this arm though. This is a nice boom arm. You guys notice this? It's a nice. I got a boom arm, which is really good, and I almost took everything down with me. But yeah, the gain levels instead of 6 is at 4 here, and it's automatic here. I gotta appreciate that for YouTube for that shit. But yeah, hopefully the audio sounds good. Hope I don't have to scream too loud for anything like that, unless I'm doing a rant here. Everything seems to be going smooth here. It's nice. Don't expect me to whip out the foreskin cup. Oh my! Now my hair. I fucked it up. Fucked my hair up now. Now I fucked it up. That's fine. That's fine. Jesus. Okay, now my hair is looking stupid. You know what? It's gonna get worse later, anyways. So, you can't do nothing about it. Actually, my hair I always fix my hair every day, and it's because the hair nets I wear at work. God damn, that's what ruins it. Hopefully, it's not causing my hair to thin. I always had greasy hair, and well, I might take some multivitamins for my thicker hair, for my hair to grow a bit healthier. Because oh boy, this hair is yeah. But it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. I wonder how they do it on OBS and Twitch. How Corey Coleman doesn't need to have headphones on to listen to content here, because you really freaking don't hear. You only hear a bit of the reaction of people. Well, then again, I'm not double toasted, so yeah. But we'll see. What else? I'm going off topic here, but I mean, come on, bear with me, people. So, what was I gonna say? What the fuck was I gonna say here? Yeah, no, I think the suit kind of makes you look fat. It's fine. I know crypto's under my bed right now, so yeah, we got 2 cryptos in the house actually right now, so that is pretty neat. I do have my Woman of Tomorrow comic. If you guys want me to show it off a bit, I already showed it off in the video, but yeah, the foreskin cup. There you go, the foreskin, the cock penis cup. I'm not gonna put that out right now, so it's gonna wait for more people to come in. That's it. Maybe around 15 minutes. We'll wait till 15 minutes and then we can get started here. But then again, before I even fully get started here, I want to make a little quick kind of a nice big thank you to a fellow team that recently had got eliminated from the World Cup, and kind of want to extend my gratitude. Yeah, so later I might turn on the air conditioner. Hopefully this microphone doesn't catch it, but it's probably going to catch it. So, because this is a high quality microphone, the HyperX Quadcast 2. I highly recommend this microphone. It's really freaking good. I guess shout out to Max for recommending me the HyperX brand. This is excellent here, folks. Ooh, boy. But give me time, folks. Once I get OBS up and running for sure, we'll do some nice, decent streams with some picture-in-picture stuff where you get to react to some goofy stuff. But then again, who knows? One day I might move to Twitch. One day I might move to Twitch just because of the any copyright legal shit from YouTube. Even on my regular videos, my freaking YouTube videos have been getting claimed by Warner Brothers. And I had to go back to delete the video right away instead of trimming and muting. No, I'm not doing that. What I usually do, I just go ahead and trim the trailer footage, even though trailer footage is the easiest, safest footage you can use. But okay, even though I am following fair use, I thought the limit was 15 seconds, and I always cut it at 8 seconds or something like that. For some reason, I still get a copyright claim from fucking Warner Brothers. Then again, they have this AI bullshit that's running this goddamn freaking website with its monitoring your uploads rather than actual inspection. But listen, things are not the same anymore, especially with this AI age. Things are not going to be the same ever again. And you know what? I don't know. Some things I do got to discuss here. Got to discuss the whole PlayStation. So I think we discussed this during the 4th of July stream, but we also discussed about the PlayStation physical media thing, how they're getting rid of physical media in 2028. Also, I don't know. I think Max, since we were using Discord, you couldn't hear her, but she was also talking about how PlayStation is also gonna delete your account and delete everything, all your games and everything like that, if you don't log back into your account in 3 years. So what happened was that they apparently it is a thing. It's been a thing in the terms of service. So what happened was that they say that, oh, we'll send you an email and it will give you like a 6-month window for you to log back into your account. And if you don't log back in, we're gonna delete your shit. And it's like, well, this is the thing I want to discuss about this. Yeah, that is bullshit. But then again, that also shows another point that streaming is never ever gonna be the future, in my opinion. Yeah, I stream my shit here. I stream I put my videos on streaming, but streaming is never gonna be the real future here. So it's always physical media or bust, in my opinion. No substitutes at all. I mean, I love streaming services. I mean, later after the stream, I'm gonna be on Shutter.com watching Tales from the Crypt or watching some cool indie horror film that I've yet to check out. You know what movie I really want to check out later is Clown on a Cornfield. Get ready, maybe you might see a big schedule this Halloween season, baby. I know September is going to be reserved for Stanley Kubrick, so it's going to be like a Stanley Kubrick month this September, so stay tuned for that. Tomorrow I'll try to upload my Stanley Kubrick physical media collection, and I am going to try to upload my you're gonna try to get a chance to watch Omoro Kamine. Hey, how's it going, Divas Mascara? Do you love Gunny? Like, oh, James Gunn? Hell yeah, I do. I even like Zack Snyder. I like Zack Snyder too. I mean, Dawn of the Dead. God damn, I love Dawn of the Dead. That remake is amazing. I've only seen the original Dawn of the Dead once, and it was on Shutter, and I think it was a theatrical cut, but I need to rewatch that one. Then again, I'm hearing that you don't need to watch the other cuts because the theatrical cut is it's good enough. So, well, who knows? But then again, the theatrical cut of the Zack Snyder's Supergirl was bad, but not as bad as people make it out to be. I actually personally like the movie, but the thing is that yeah, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I feel like people are really blowing it like it's the worst thing ever. Which probably one of the biggest crimes. Another big crime of this film is that they played way too safe. It's a pretty safe movie. That's what I gotta say. But no, it's a movie that I understand why people would not like it. I understand it. I think the more I think about it, the more I like the film. But then again, the thing is that I mean, look, it's everybody's being respectful with this, except if you go on Twitter or you see the Snyder incels going after you and all that stuff, which is well, it is what it is, people. It's the internet, but what I'm seeing here is healthy. I did get some hate comments and death threats a bit, but I mean, I kind of got that with Scary Movie 6. And I would say this Scary Movie 6 is currently my lead, actually the worst film I've seen this year. But there are people who love the film. You know what? Great. That's awesome. I like that. I like that. I like seeing people like stuff that I don't like, but it's all opinion and all that stuff. But we'll discuss about the stuff that's very horrible of this movie once I discuss spoilers. So brace yourselves for that. Creme. But yeah, Gunn should not direct Brave and the Bold. He's perfect for D-list characters only. You know what? That's a good point. But I say if you know what he did say Batman is his favorite character. So if he's really passionate about it, I say go for it. Um, at least I'd rather have James Gunn than Andy Muschietti. I mean, Andy Muschietti, what the hell is he doing right now, man? Shit. And I remember liking The Flash when I first saw it, and then the more I thought, the more especially when I got the 4K, the more repeated watches, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this deep fake shit looks horrendous. Goddamn. Oh boy, that's cringe. So I don't know if Andy's the right guy to get him, but yeah. But then again, I think that Greg Gillespie wasn't the right guy to direct Supergirl. Quoting James Gunn, superheroes are the stupidest thing ever. Well, embrace it. James Gunn is not wrong. You could probably say that. It's stupid, but it's fun. You could probably say that. I mean, it's better him than getting somebody like Todd Phillips who's ashamed of comic book movies existing. You could say this thing. I love Godzilla versus Megalon. Godzilla fan here. Godzilla's my favorite thing of all time. You could say this. Godzilla vs. Megalon is the stupidest thing ever, but I love it. You could probably say that. But then again, James could have probably. Then again, that's kind of a misquote out of context right there. So yeah, but I'd rather have James Gunn than honestly, and Peter Safran, who's a nice businessman. I'd rather have them than Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, but he didn't really understand. As much as I do like Man of Steel, he never understood. He doesn't understand Superman. Sees him as like God or a deity, rather than that's not what Superman is. And making him, I gotta say, it's kind of making him into a Jesus metaphor. It's kind of a bit anti-Semitic when he's supposed to be like more of a Moses metaphor, but whatever. I didn't like Godzilla X Kong. I love it, but I get why you don't like it too. But I mean, I really dug it a lot. It's I mean, it's not too diff. I think it's a little bit better than Godzilla versus Kong, to be honest. Because versus Kong, you could really tell that reactionary Warner Brothers was like in the cutting room floor and all that stuff. What else? What was I gonna say? So yeah, -1 was fine. Oh yes, yes, yes. Still, my number one most anticipated movie is -0. So I cannot wait for that to come out. Hey, look, if the movie, in my opinion, sucks, I'm gonna let people know. So who knows? There's a lot of stakes going on for -0. So you got a legacy to live up to right now. But anyways, no, it's fun. I just glad James Gunn is in charge of this, to be honest, though. But there, I will criticize some of the things based on how this movie is. How just some points for him if he ever watches this, some stuff like that. Is -0 coming this year? Yeah, November 3rd. Perfectly timed. November 3rd is Godzilla's day. Godzilla's anniversary this year. Of November 3rd, 1954 was when the original Gojira premiered. So that is really cool. I'm excited. So since my friend and I, you've seen him in this channel before, Don, we're planning to go to Osaka this year. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure he's down to do it. But I told him, with even Max was playing, if Max ever joins in later, she'll vouch for me. Is that I really told Don that we gotta, because I'm gonna see this first in the US, and I'm gonna tell Don we gotta go to a Japanese movie theater in Japan and watch -0 because I really want to watch it here and then watch it in Japan. So I'm freaking hyped up for that. So that I'm looking forward to. I'm freaking excited for -0. Oh my god. But I gotta do agree with you right here, Diva. Is that I do like Supergirl. It's not as bad as people might like to be, and people can think it's bad too. I mean, a lot of the critics that I do like think it's genuinely bad, and I got good criticisms for it. I mean, Double Toasted, they were very harsher on this movie than I am, and so and I agree with a lot of the points they put out. So, but yeah, that's yeah, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be honest, in my opinion. But there are some people, of course, yeah. Japanese theaters are definitely better than the US ones, that's for sure. It's quiet. Yeah, it's quiet and they're more respectful. And I'm pretty sure they have healthier and more hearty options than in the US. Jesus Christ, US is just our process shit. So yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, going back to the whole PlayStation, getting rid of your accounts in about 3 years. I think that explains why when I got the PS5 Pro that's right behind me, I think that explains why I couldn't log back into my old account that I created with my PS3. And that was I think that was almost a decade ago. Well, that was a decade ago. Holy shit, that probably explains it. Because apparently this was a thing. Apparently my account still shows up on my old account still shows up on the PlayStation app, but it's inactive or you cannot access it, or maybe it's actually gone for good now. But I had to create a new account when I got my PlayStation. So all my trophies, all my digital purchases, and all that stuff. I remember I purchased the pilot episode of Spartacus, the one that came out on Netflix. Uh, that got deleted. So everything is a lot of my stuff, my media right there from PlayStation got deleted on my old account. So maybe it's because of that. But the thing I gotta say is though is just John Campia. I'm trying to get to the point here. John Campia, baby, he's such a hypocrite. It's funny how this guy loves to champion movie theaters, and I agree with the movie theater thing, but he sure as hell loves to talk shit about the stuff I have back here, physical media. Physical media likes to talk shit about its downfall, kind of like whatever, and he's talking about just stuff that is a lot of the stats are pretty wrong when you think about it. and he kind of wants to talk about the downfall. I feel like deep down he's laughing at the downfall of physical media, even though there's going to be a surge in it soon because look what's happening with PlayStation. Then again, physical media collectors like us have been saying this from the very freaking beginning that streaming is not the future. And look at that. PlayStation is the masks came off with that. And so with John Cappy being, I say he's funny how he's championing movie theaters, but he's not championing physical media. And now it's funny how he's kind of likes to talk shit about physical media. Let's just say this. Even his own fan base calls him out, how he just kind of likes to talk shit about physical media. And yet, right now, he's getting a bitch fit about his digital collection going away soon. You're throwing a tantrum of where was this when physical media was slowly phasing out? Where was this? Where was this rage, John? Oh, physical media, yeah, it's his downfall. I don't really care for it, but why are you talking about it? Whatever. And now it's like, oh, but my digital collection, I deserve to keep that. Go fuck yourself. Seriously. I might have to finally unsubscribe to John Cappy, to be honest, though. But anyways, this mask is slipping off, as I can say that. Streaming kids don't understand the glory of physical media. So this physical discourse. Yep, physical media is 3 times the quality of a streaming service. True HD audio and loads of bonus features, especially from boutique labels like Arrow, Criterion, Screen Factory. I can't say Kino Lorber because they just recycle shit, but uh, Vinegar Syndrome, Vestron, all that good stuff. The bitrate is better. Yes, bitrate is better. Compression is better. And you get bonus features. I know there are some people out there that don't. I remember one time I did a physical media video and somebody said, I don't care for bonus features. All right, cool. Okay. All right. Oh, in the channel, folks, when I'm going to do a physical media video tomorrow, my Stanley Kubrick collection that I got. But when I do physical media, I like to cover everything, the video, the audio, and the special features, and a bit of the packaging to make sure that if it's worth shelling out, especially I prefer covering boutique labels. So the next new review that I'm going to do is the Mortal Kombat box set, and I cannot wait to talk about it for you guys. So it's going to be exciting to talk about it, and just watching the Mortal Kombat set from Arrow Video, like I'm looking at my ring light, I'm sorry. Looking at that, it is phenomenal. Brought me back when I was a kid. Holy crap. I remember the Dark Knight 4K Blu-ray transfer was so bad. They just made it brighter. I prefer Blu-ray over the 4K Blu-ray. Ooh. You know what? That's I like that. I prefer the 4K, but the Blu-ray, it looks really good. I gotta say, yeah. It looks more natural to me, and for the 4K, but the Blu-ray transfer is no slouch. Holy shit. This was a Blu-ray that made people buy a Blu-ray player. Aside from the PS3, the Dark Knight Blu-ray made people buy Blu-ray. People don't know about that, but that's a good fact. That's a fun fact right there, everybody. And the transfer, it's funny how people bitched about the transfer being, oh, but the colors are altered. Are you sure that the colors are altered? Because I don't know. The DVD looked fine and the IMAX scenes look fine. I don't know. That's true. I remember that. Yeah. The Dark Knight Blu-ray is the people bitch about the transfer, but it's like, no, the transfer is pretty faithful to the theatrical one. I mean, it is supervised by Chris Nolan. He supervises every single transfer from the DVD to freaking 4K now. And keep in mind, I'd say this. Here's a hot take. For the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K, it could have been better because instead of using the camera negative, by request of Nolan, he requested to use the inner positive instead, which is not bad. But the negatives are usually what you would go to. And don't think that I'm being like the blue tubers are going like, well, they have the dead 4K. They use the inner positive, so you're gonna have to. No. Look, if you cannot access a negative, then get the inner positive. I mean, this James Gunn Slither. So this is James Gunn Slither. Speaking of gun, James Gunn Slither. This is 4K scan from the 35mm inner positive, approved by writer-director James Gunn and director of photography Gregory Middleton. So this is the inner positive, and they didn't use a negative, but maybe by request, so they cannot access the negative. So nothing wrong with the unit's inner positive. It's basically the inner positive is the master copy of the movie. So the inner positive, that's what you use for theatrical prints, like inner negatives or dupe negatives or dupe positives to turn into 35 millimeter prints. So hey, why not use the second best source? But in the case of Nolan, though, they could have easily used the camera negatives, but Nolan didn't want to. Maybe for protection of the camera negative, but that's just my theory. That's gonna when I finally cover the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna probably discuss that a bit. Like Blu-ray reviewers, physical media reviewers online had to correct themselves. They said it was the camera negative, but then they got an update from Warner Bros. Saying no, that's the inner positive as requested by Nolan. So that is that. So yeah, hypocritical for John Campy to do that. So that is my little rant on him. All right, folks, we're almost 30 minutes in. I haven't even started on the spoiler discussion. So let's just say this before we get started. I want to say a big thank you to Mexico for bringing us an amazing team. How far we've gotten since we haven't gotten this far or played this good since 1986, I believe. So hey, look, GG England. Man, played on one of the best stadiums of all time, Estadio Azteca. That what an honor and what a fun match. Uh, Unlike some teams that just give up and choke, this team, Mexico, fought to the last inch. So, gracias Mexico. Shout out to Mexico. And I gotta say this, even though we didn't go all the way, I gotta say this. From everything that's happening in the world, was happening, making us Mexicans a big target of making us look like monsters and all that stuff. What I can take we can take away from the World Cup is that a lot of people have been proven and shown that Mexico is not what the let's just say this mega conservative Republican mainstream makes us out to be. You know, from podcasters to freaking influencers to Twitter users to places like Fox News and all that stuff, making us look like monsters. Well, now people seeing the truth that we are very good people. We're accommodating, and even England fans have been saying how great Mexican fans have treated them. Fans are still toxic. Let's just be real here. Sports fans are always going to be toxic. I got to say this. No, I appreciate glad to see that the world is seeing us for who we are, good people and hardworking people, very welcoming. Well, I'm trying not to get choked up here. And just seeing that, yeah, this whole propaganda being anti-Mexicans or just anti-immigrants, anti-people of color has been being proven wrong here in thanks to the World Cup. So what I can say, Mexicans, we are punk rock, as I would say. So going back to the team of Mexico, gracias. God damn, people, we played good. Let's not take that away. So salud. Drinking some Mexican Coke here, baby. Pricey for the import, but yeah. And with that, folks, now let's get started. The moment you all been waiting for. There's like a 30 to 40-minute spoiler talk. Now, here it is, Supergirl 2026. I still like the movie. I think the more I think about it, I like it a bit more and appreciate it a bit more. But that is not without its flaws. And right as the opening credits began, I knew we were kind of in trouble. I have ignored the critic reviews and all that stuff a bit because, like, you know what? That's cool. Hey, that's kind of make me want to watch it even more. Right at the first opening credits, baby, the editing gave out. The editing was horrible. Just by Supergirl waking up, getting ready to party, getting wasted. The cuts and edits, I feel like some sequences are not finished up. And the freaking opening credits, they just flash a bit, they dissolve and then they cut like away. Like, what the hell? I haven't seen opening credits this quick in my life in a while. It gave me Rise of Skywalker vibes where I'm just like, oh, hold up, back up. I'm fully ahead of everything, but yet for some reason I'm telling you to back up. Like, what? Hold on, goddamn! Like, holy shit! Oh boy, right away, just where with Supergirl just waking up and she's just brushing her teeth or just not really brushing it, just getting ready, getting wasted, taking shots here and there, and just seeing how speedy the opening credits are. So now we cut to our villain visiting Ruthie. Now we get the cut to our villain. We get introduced to the worst thing of this film, Creme of the Yellow Hills. So here's the thing. So he entered this how he kills Ruthie's family. Again, the editing is so choppy that he first like it's funny, he gets jump scared by Ruthie's brother. He's just Ruthie's brother's trying to play a prank on her, throws an axe, and he just kills him. Like that's pretty violent for a PG-13 movie. Yeah, it is what it is. But before that scene, so you see Krem visiting Ruthie's parents, and he just walks in. And I gotta say this, I did see some promise in this guy. He walks in, sits on the table, and they accommodated him and all this stuff. He sits down at the table and he's like, "Is that pie?" And it's like, okay, okay, okay. I could. So white people do. Oh, I don't. Okay, this is going good. And then yeah, the editing is so choppy that it just he quickly gets rid of Ruthie's family right then and there. And throughout the rest of the film, he's just like this. You don't get a lot of time with this dude, to be honest, though. We don't get a lot of time with this guy. So then you just see him just speaking his native tongue and all that stuff, but also he's just like, where is the girl? The girl. Where is the girl? And he's also a trafficker. I heard rumors that in the original extended cut, you get to see more of Krem's childhood, kind of like what trying to sympathize with him. But yeah, why would I want to sympathize with a trafficker? Oh boy. I mean, but you don't get a lot of screen time. But then again, he's just nothing to write home about. I know that Krem wasn't all that in the comic book, but again, he's still very nuanced. Rereading it, he's very nuanced. He's still is a force. He takes pleasure out of hurting people. Here, I mean, it's in a cartoonish way, but again, you don't get a lot of time with this guy. But then again, the script is so badly written for this guy. He just says cliche lines and all that stuff. And again, you can do cliche shit, but the thing is that it's not executed well. Not enough oomph, not enough punch. And I'm surprised that Greg Gillespie didn't punch the at least kind of had a say in the script. Kind of didn't punch the script up because we got a. It's great that we had a female writer to write this film, but you could tell she's very inexperienced. But he has a lot of cliche dialogue and all that stuff. And there's a scene. There's a scene. I gotta say, there's a pretty well edited scene, pretty well paced scene where we got Ruthie trying to chase after him, trying to kill him, and then Supergirl intervenes. But then again, he gets away, and then it's because the deal is broken. Where if they give us away, like we're gonna kill that family's daughter that we trafficked, that we're trafficking right now. So then, of course, the deal is broken to hand them Supergirl and Ruthie. And there's a cool, well edited shot where he not only Krem kills the family, the parents, but he also kills the daughter. Like there was a good chance that Supergirl and Ruthie could have reached and stopped them on time. But now they're too late. He kills them. He kills that girl, and I'm like, whoa, they went there. I could have said that. And then, yeah, double toasted. I agree with Corey Coleman here. It got ruined with him laughing. Yes. I'm like, oh, god damn it. Oh, man, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. And they try to hype him up at the climax where he goes, oh, look, the Supergirl, God, kryptonite bullet. Yeah, look at you now. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. You ain't shit. And he wasn't shit, to be honest, though. He gets him and his boys freaking all get demolished anyways at the freaking end here. Jesus Christ. Again, this guy, he acts like, oh, I am the top of the Yellow Hills, and yet we don't see you do shit aside from being a dick. But it's like, well, I've seen people be bigger dicks than you, to be honest. Even though, like, yeah, you do traffic girls. We've all seen better villains than you. Just saying. Just saying. And I love the actor. The actor's great. I love him in his other stuff, but what the hell happened in here? I don't know. I don't know. I'll get to later before I wrap it up. A good point here. I gotta say this that I don't think Greg Gillespie was the right guy to direct this. And I do love Greg Gillespie as the director. I like Tanya was great. I even had a kick out of Cruella. I really do like that Cruella movie, but I don't think he was the right guy to direct this. But then again, great dude, very professional guy. So I gotta say that, and also like it's just a lot of the editing is it got better around the end of the film, around the third act, but still some of the editing where like they finish one scene and then they had to cut to the next scene. This movie's so fast paced where I feel like you know what, you need to slow down. You know what's crazy is that when the movie slows down, it actually works. It's I wouldn't. This movie's an hour and 48 minutes long. I could have I would have been fine with a 2 hour and 15 to 2 hour and 30 minute movie of Supergirl just to get to know her more. Um, because here's the thing, Millie Alcock, in my opinion, first impressions, not just from the ending of Superman, but even throughout this film, she is great. I don't hope the microphone. Pretty sure the microphone caught that, but she is phenomenal here, guys. Her line delivery is so good, but she's a great actress, anyways. Her line delivery, it is just amazing. I'm not lying, she was great. You know what? The reason why I do like this movie is because of her. She really helped salvage as much as she can with this movie. So with Supergirl, I really do like. Again, I wish we got to know more about her though, because the movie goes by so quick. And this is supposed to be an adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow, but with the Woman of Tomorrow, you get to know why another reason why she's drinking. You get another good reason why she's drinking, but not to say there's no good reason why she's, excuse me, the way she is in the movie. But in the comic, in the comic book, she's still, you got a good reason. And you know what? Her code of honor is just phenomenal. Despite everything she's gone through, her code of honor is just great. Here, yeah, I'll get to that in a few moments. Something she does at the end. But her is that we don't get enough time with her, but you also at the same time understand where she comes from. You really see the trauma she goes with in the Krypton and Argo scenes, where her family saw the destruction of Krypton, and now she's in Argo. She slowly saw her people die, her parents dying, and all that stuff, and she was willing to die with them. But her father's like, no, I'm gonna send you to Earth. Your cousin Kal-El is there. It's best you to save with him. And it's just so what happened was that Argo, after the Krypton blows up, Argo is poisoned by underneath the surface, like at the bottom of this shield, like flat Earth looking planet. At the bottom, what built up over the years was kryptonite poisoning, the radiation of kryptonite. Just shards of krypton, but irradiated from the space. It got kryptonite, and everybody's slowly dying, getting poisoned, along with Carl's mother. And I wish the funeral scene was a bit longer. That's also where we get the first flashback when she meets Crypto, and she hides him and all that stuff, which is pretty emotional. And it's so beautifully done and directed, I gotta say, when they're speaking Kryptonian. Oh my god, that is amazing how they just made up language and they sound amazing. Uh, and Millie Alcott just brings out so much emotion when she was in Argo, the Argo scenes. And the Tom King, even reading the comic, even I cried. It was the Tom King comic where where Kara's father, Jor-El's brother, sends her off away, and he just looks at her in the pot and says, "I love you." And in the movie, they don't do that though. You could have done it right there, and you didn't do it. You could have done the comic book right there, but no, just say "I love you." You could have just say that, and no, he doesn't say that. But it's still a sad scene. He puts her in the pod with Crypto, tears, and he's just touching the pod, and he's just sending away. He's sending her away, watching her own planet slowly die of kryptonite poisoning. And I did wish this funeral scene of her mother went forward, because you get to breathe in, take in the cinematography. The cinematography is really good if it weren't for like the kind of like the muted color grade. But no, Argo and Krypton scenes look good. Krypton looks great. I gotta say this, Krypton looks good. But I know that Oliver Harper brought up a continuity thing where it's like, okay, if with Krypton in the original Superman movie with the Fortress of Solitude, it looks like an icy planet. It's more of a crystal planet. And so we got the Fortress of Solitude, which is buried in ice in Superman 2025, and then it's crystals. So where are those? I gotta say this: where are those crystal buildings in Krypton? Because Krypton has this, I would say this Bespin, Cloud City, planet of Bespin aesthetic to it, like a lot of white, a lot of futuristic looks. But that's a good point, though. Where is the crystal-like buildings? I gotta say that, but I'm pretty sure they're around there somewhere. You know what? I do want to do a hopefully one Man of Tomorrow addresses some of those issues. Uh, but I do like that when Jor-El when that Jor-El's brother was trying to save everybody, like any remaining Kryptonian. That's how Argo was built from the destruction of Krypton. And you don't really see Krypton blow up, but you see it slowly about to blow up, which is like very scary looking. I gotta say, like you see buildings and craters just crumbling down and sinking into the surface, which is insane. It's very good CGI. The CGI, I gotta say, it's pretty top notch in this movie. Um, so also real quick, that is really cool scene where Jor-El's brother and his wife, they don't like he kind of doesn't like his brother either. He disagrees with his brother about a harem and conquest and a bit of that. And and they see Kal-El, Clark, Superman, they see this baby pod floating away, and his wife is like, is that him? Is that Kal-El? Yes, that is my brother's son, Kal-El. And is like, why would how dare they send that poor sweet innocent boy to try to conquer a planet or something, which is yeah, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's my brother. Is yeah, yeah, and I like that a lot, man. You really love Jor-El's brother so much. No, really, and Clark's aunt, his biological aunt. Wow, she's like, yeah, that poor sweet child. I'm like, yeah, that's a very good scene. It's quick, a very good Easter egg. That's really good. It doesn't stop the movie, but you really see baby Kal-El fly away. That is a really good scene. I like that a lot. So, but yeah, the scenes at Argo are amazing, and I wish we got more of those, much more of those, and I wish we got more scenes with with Supergirl and Crypto. I mean, because the whole point of this movie is Krem shot a poison dart to Crypto, and in the comic book, he yelps. I have the comic book. You read the comic. He yelps. It's a bit more brutal in the comic, but in the movie, it's when he runs at him, it slows down and he hits him, but it's still painful to watch because you hear him whimper, like you hear him whimper and all that stuff. And there's a scene that brought me back to I think the first or second episode of Punky Brewster. There's a scene when she's about to go after him and try to get the antidote because he has the antidote. And she says, she tells Crypto like and it's a good scene. She tells him like, "Oh, I'll be back. Don't die on me now." You could hear him go, like he's crying, like he doesn't want her to leave, but she has to. I mean, Crypto. He kind of has separation anxiety, a la Superman 2025. Um, but no, it was very emotional. But then again, you don't get a lot of time with those two. You don't get a lot of time with her and Puppy Crypto. And maybe this left on the cutting room floor. Maybe stop the movie for a bit. But then again, I wouldn't mind that. And that would have been great. There's a lot of missed opportunities in this movie, to be honest, though. Uh, what? So again, wish we got more Crypto, so that the rush to get Crypto in 72 hours was a bit more emotional. Like, oh, get in a hurry. But the movie's more hurry to get done than the actual conflict here. But no, but Millie Alcock is Supergirl. She is amazing. She witnessed trauma at a very young age, and she drinks a lot, and throughout the whole movie, she's talking about her code of honor and talking about how revenge is not gonna bring anything back or it's not worth it, yada yada yada. But this is but then again, I'm more interested on the trauma, how like she was more like she saw her family just die in front of her, and she's coping just by drinking and it's not going away and all that stuff, and she's trying to find her own arc. But I also feel like they kind of rushed it too, because the scene when before the final fight, there's a scene, the planet has basically a green sun, and she's getting poisoning from it. And as she's dying, and then the whole like, and then the yellow sun shows up and it heals her. Before that, I think maybe because of her near death experience, maybe she got a moment, because now she's flashing back to her life and how her parents are telling her, to her father basically tells her what Clark's what pair like Clark's parents, Jor-El, should have told Kal-El, and Clark and Jor-El and Lara should have told Clark that, yeah, like, and protect the people, be a good person. And I think because of that near death experience, because I also had a near death experience a couple times before, maybe she kind of got a reflection of her life, and maybe she's finally going to listen to her family, and maybe also finally listen to Clark, her cousin. And although then again, at the same time, it kind of felt rushed. Like, oh, because you're a near death experience, you have this epiphany now. And she throughout the whole movie, she doesn't put the suit on until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. But I gotta say this: the action scenes were very cool, but nothing too special. And even some editing was cut here and there, and they go by quick. Like 1 minute they get started, and the next day they're done. Especially with the scene with they go see Lobo, like they go cross paths with Lobo. Um, that action scene at the end, especially before the scene when she goes up to the space and she starts crying and yelling because of the girl that got killed. And I really had a good point about like, oh, if like, and she kind of had a good point that if you could just like you and your code and they would have been dead, they would have been alive if you didn't have your code of honor. But then again, she kind of proves her wrong with that. But then again, same time, Anna contradicts a bit. Right after that. So let's see. And then, although Ruthie had a good point, she's kind of wrong on that, in my opinion. And she goes off to out of the planet and then starts crying, but she's screaming and you don't hear it, which is really freaking cool. I like that a lot. It's very emotional. Kind of brings the Harry Potter 5 vibes. And yeah, the action scenes I gotta say this: the bus scene is hilarious. Like the drivers are hilarious. Like Millie Alcock's delivery is amazing in that scene. That is awesome. But yeah, the fight scenes at the end were pretty cool. That's kind of like very well done. They saved the girls that got trafficked. And the motorcycle scenes, that was pretty cool. I liked how fast she moves, and it's really cool how she's protecting Ruthie at the same time. But then again, it's not to knock on the girl. The girl did an amazing job. They play this covered version of The Middle, and it kind of took me out of it. But I think thinking about it, you know what? I think I need to rewatch this film again just to maybe get the full picture of this. But shout out to the girl that did the cover song of The Middle. That was really good. No, she did a great job. I would listen to that on its own, but for the movie, I don't know. But it was a good action sequence. I'm like, where was all this awesome action sequences in the first 2 acts? I mean, I like the bus scene, but still, where was all this good stuff from there? And then we get on to the scene where they try to recreate the comic a bit, where Ruthie is about to kill Krem, but then Supergirl stops her. How like killing people will not bring any back. It's not worth it, and so that's cool. And then as Ruthie's walking away, yeah, immediately she takes Ruthie's sword. And yeah, she stabs Krem. I mean, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a coworker of mine. She said it best, like, yeah, because he's gonna keep doing it. So might as well just do it. And I'll get to my thoughts on that on Carl right here. And then she's like, that's for Ruthie's I think that was like, that's for my dog. And then I think she either stabs him in the throat, she slits it, and she says, and that's for killing Ruthie's family. Something like that. It's for her, it's for Crypto and her family. So she kills Krem. In the comic book, she gives him a fate worse than death, and that is sending him to the Phantom Zone, which, yeah, it is way worse than death, to be honest. She kills Krem, and it was definitely by choice. And so people kind of compared it to Man of Steel, where, yeah, Clark had no choice but to kill Zod. And I defended him killing Zod. I still do. He had no choice. Clark in that situation had no option. He had no choice. He had to kill Zod. And he since regret killing Zod. And it haunts him kind of in a way throughout the whole movies. But yeah, that's a different topic for a different time. But she had a choice here. But I gotta say this. Although it does contradict everything, her code of honor, I didn't mind it. I'm one of those people that I'm on the side. I don't really pick sides, but I'm gonna be on the side where you know what? I'm not offended by that. Cause yeah, despite Krem being a terribly written villain, He was also he's let's not deny he's a scummy piece of shit, and he's not gonna stop doing what he's doing. So why not take the chance there? And I gotta say this, I kind of do like that. Kara is not like her cousin, and she shouldn't be like a female Superman. She should be her own character. Unlike, as much as I enjoy Helen Slater as Supergirl, she was still a female Superman. She didn't really have her own identity, especially this is during a time where she's a female lead, she must fall in love with a man. That bullshit. Here, I'm so happy that they finally did Supergirl justice for her having her own identity. But pretty sure this is going to be addressed in future installments, and it might come bite her in the ass. Um, there's always going to be a karma here with things. And I do like that scene with her, and I'm gonna talk about these scenes real quick. There's supposed to be an after credit scene, but it was just the ending where her and Crypto go to Clark's apartment, and I'm pretty sure Clark just got back from doing something cool and all that stuff, being Superman, still doing Superman stuff. And they just had a nice talk. She's talking about, you know what, I think I'm gonna stay here for good, or something like that. Stay here longer for good because, yeah, I think I kind of found my way, or something like that, which is actually pretty cool. But even though it was a bit rushed, but excuse me, from what I've heard of James Gunn is that there's gonna be a conflict between the two of them on how they see things. So that excuse me, that I'm excited for that. Next year, baby, next year. Holy shit. Um, so hopefully we see a lot of scenes of them together in Man of Tomorrow because holy crap, they are perfect. Their chemistry is amazing. You want to talk about Millie Alcott's performance? She also balances perfect chemistry with David Cornsweet as Superman. So David Cornsweet, come on, he's David Cornsweet. He's Superman. Every scene he's in, he is just amazing. Especially that flashback scene with her and Puppy Crypto meeting for the first time, and he's like, "Hi, hi, it's I'm your cousin," and it's so cute. That's Superman. And then she's speaking to him in Kryptonian. She's like, "Azakalela." Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my shoot. I don't speak Kryptonian. I'm sorry. I never got a chance to learn. Oh, I'm sorry. And he felt so bad, which is adorable. I love him. And he was like, "Hey, let me get your bags." And then you hear Crypto's about to bite. He's like, "Oh, feisty little fella." And then they are like, "Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here, and this is really freaking nice. You're gonna love this place." And of course, in Kryptonian, she says, "Why is he in his underwear?" I don't care. I love the underwear. I don't care. I love the red spandex. And then he gets her bags, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to like in this planet. Like it's a lot of good stuff to do, and you're gonna like bowling is one of them. Yeah." That line, the whole theater was cracking up. The whole theater was gushing. He is just amazing. And oh, when they're together, and especially at the end when they're together, that is just beautiful, beautiful. Like you really feel a family dynamic between those two, which is amazing. I'd say better chemistry with her, and I like the chemistry, but it's not as good as her and Clark's. The chemistry with her and Ruthie. I do like Ruthie though. She is cool. She can be badass. And I think she has more of an arc than Carl, to be honest. I kind of like her arc a bit better. I wish we got again more time with Ruthie a bit, you know. But when they're together, it's really nice. I really do like that. Their chemistry again really balances well together, especially after the bus scene, which is really cool. And also that scene where she looks for after the whole bar scene, she gets her sword back. The next day, she visits Kara. Kara's waist, she's like hungover. And there's another highlight of Millie Alcock's line delivery where she gets in her trailer and pretty much taking a piss or shit, and then she goes in and talks, and then freaking she startles her. She goes, and then freaking Supergirl's like, "Oh my god." She freaking knocks out, and then she goes up. Again, those two working great together. Again, I wish we got more development with them a bit, but yeah, it is what it is. And no, but what I got it, like I said earlier, I like it when the movie slows down. I love it when it slows down. You get to see more of the backstory a bit more. Just the movie slows down. Let's breathe this in. I wish we had a more slower paced movie, to be honest. and maybe the color palette should have been better, but whatever. Um, what else? I mean, it is written by a woman, so at least I mean, actually, it's funny because I kind of relate to Supergirl a bit more. I mean, I relate to both Clark and Kara because I kind of been her shoes like that when it comes to drinking face one time. But yeah. In the comic book though, aside from her the trauma, she also feels like she's Superman's shadow. Kind of gets to her. And I've been there too many times actually being people's shadow. Uh Kind of hit home with me with the comic book, and it also hit home with me in the movie. So I get how she's feeling with this. Uh so I kind of really I related a bit to Kara in this new movie. So no, I really love Emily Alcock. Her acting is great, and I cannot wait to see her again in another installment. Um, Not much spoilers. This is a spoiler discussion. I'm not really spoiling much, really. Uh, Lobo, he's only in it for like 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Cut him out. I know that Tom King wanted Lobo to be in the original comic, but it's better off if you left him out, buddy. I like that Tom King. I heard even Tom King, the one of the creators, he actually, well, the writer of the original book of the comic book, he also also had an input in this. He's also part of the writers group, I believe, at DC Studios. And you know what? Hey, if he made some calls, hey, that's the man. That's the man himself, baby. The score is terrible. I could tell it's very last minute. It's very terrible. Then again, at least it's rather not have Junkie XL back here, to be honest, with his pro AI shit. Um, yeah, but going back to Lobo, he's only in it for like 8 minutes or so. And you know what, Jason Momoa, cliche, he is born to play Lobo. He is hilarious, and I just like that every scene he's in, like he relishes it in the mayhem. Even Carl wants nothing to do with him when they come across paths with him. That scene where Ruthie's kind of knocking out or killing the dude in that prison, he is like taking a delicious delight seeing her, kick some dude's ass. He's crazy. Lobo is insane, and I love him. He is awesome, and I think in the comic books, him and Superman fight. So that is really cool. No, but look, he's not really in it much, especially after he gets his motorcycle back and he gets the one basically Krem's main hench dude, the side guy. He had a bounty him to kill to get his head. So and he got his head at the end, and yeah, went about his ways. Actually, yeah, this is gonna be like a very short spoiler discussion. Yeah, movie wraps up very quick. It ends no after credit, no mid credit scene, no anything. It just wraps up quick. This movie goes by quick. So yeah, now I'm gonna talk about just things to improve in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an extended cut coming out of this movie one day, because apparently, like, it's very disclosed to special features, but I've heard that it's gonna be very in depth. Who knows? We might get two cuts. Could an extended cut fix this? I'd say yes, but what was cut out in the cutting room floor? Because I heard from test audiences they prefer this cut over the cut they saw, the extended cut, the Gillespie cut, as we calling it, where they said that aside from some of the Krem scenes, Krem even has this speech with Ruthie, and that is like, oh, people are like, ooh, okay, now we're getting into some slimy shit with this guy. Okay, well, you get more time with Krem, and apparently you got Krem with his childhood, which I don't know. I don't think I'll be it's cool with sympathizing with a trafficker character, or just trafficker in general, of course. And people even say there's a lot of there's a lot of scenes where they talk about Supergirl. Even Supergirl's not here. It's more of her presence is not meant. Apparently, some reshoots also enhanced it, and some stuff was cut out. I feel like the stuff that was importantly cut out, in my opinion, some of the sequences, like some of the transitions, I think could have really helped out a bit with that. They even got one of the co-writers of Godzilla X Kong Empire, which I like that movie, but it's I can see why people don't like it. And and an editor, I believe, from Godzilla X Kong, which okay, if I had any problems with Godzilla X Kong, is that that movie kind of went by too quick, some of the editing. But then again, that movie's better edited than Supergirl, because from what I've been hearing from the test screenings is that Gunn, Peter Safran, and crew, even Greg Gillespie, they try to salvage it as much as they can to because it wasn't scoring well test screenings, and then now they try to enhance it a bit, and it got it scored higher, but not too high. And you know what? Who knows? We might get that original cut. Probably not. I don't think I want to see it. Now people just, especially the people who saw it, they're like, it's not worth it. It would have been nice an alternate cut, but it's not. That's not canon to the DCU. But it'll be nice to have an additional cut, or just have another cut that's canon, where it's just some of that stuff is put back in, and some of the just a better edited movie. Because my big issue with this film is the editing. So, and aside from me being disappointed that there are some opportunities could have taken, like maybe Lobo should have stayed with Kara and Ruthie, because he just pops in every there, especially in the prison. So it's like, why have Lobo there? I get that he's got to be set up, but again, that brings me back to like Iron Man 2 shit, where that movie's mostly nothing but setup, and that's not a good thing. I don't like it when movies do that, and this movie kind of does that, and I don't like that. This is the second movie in the DCU, and yet we're already like doing setup now? Come on now. I thought the DCU was supposed to be like standalone-ish when it comes to like the installments, but I don't know. So look, gotta give kudos to James Gunn and Greg Gillespie for trying to salvage this movie, but it probably would not have done much better. Could have done worse, to be honest. But look, I still like the movie. And I kind of, the more I think about it, the more I kind of like it a bit more. But I can see why people don't like the movie or hate the film, to be honest. But yeah, but also here's the thing that I got to improve. To talk about James Gunn here is that to James Gunn, try to hire a director that actually kind of wants a bit show more respect to the source material. Hi, I'm new here. What did I miss? Oh, you kind of missed my spoiler a little bit, but right now I'm talking about what we can do better for the next after Clayface and maybe after Man of Tomorrow, how James Gunn should try to be a bit more hands-on. So try to hire a guy or somebody who can kind of respect the source material. As much as they try to promote this as one of Tomorrow in a way, it's barely that. It's it's a story with Kara and Ruthie and Krem, and starting to know about Kara's backstory a bit, her trauma, but again, it's just sprinkled here and there. It's missing some of the stuff about Kara's code of honor and deep roots in this, and just feeling like a shadow to your cousin or family, or just your trauma. And it covers it here, but it's not enough. So there's a lot of missed opportunities here in this movie. Again, I still like the film, but it's there are some missed opportunities here. Get somebody who kind of in a way kind of understands the source a bit more, you know? Oh, I did. Whoops. Now you're good. I love Supergirl. 8 out. Awesome, man. Superman was robbed at the Oscars this year. It deserved Best Picture. You know what? It was robbed for it. Yeah, it. Oh my god, I cannot argue with that. Even though I'm happy that Sinners won. Oh wow, yeah, no, but at least it should have been nominated. I mean, the special effects were phenomenal, man. God damn, Crypto and the Kaiju were great. And I'm so glad you love Supergirl. Really, I'm so glad you did. And I still like the movie. In my opinion, I think it should have been a bit better, but that's just my opinion. But you know what? I still like the movie a lot. But for the James Gunn is that try to be a bit more hands-on. I get that you want to direct. I get that your true passion is trying to also write and direct your own movies, but try to also give notes. Try to give notes. Try to see, with this, and that, because the sauce was there. Sinners did not deserve Best Picture. I mean, to each their own. No, but but I get you. Sinners is not for everybody. Not every movie's for everybody. So heck, I even have people telling me that -1 sucked. And you know what? Hey, it's not for everybody. Then again, it's I'm not saying that you think Sinners is bad. So yeah, but no, no, I think it deserved Best Picture, but then again, Superman, it should have at least should have gotten a nomination. Like, what the hell? Why? Why not a nomination? Oh, a superhero. Fuck you. Whatever, Oscars. Then again, Oscars suck. As much as I'm happy that, the movie I was rooting for won Best Picture, they still suck. It's just nothing but a circle jerk contest, anyways, at the end of the day. I mean, this is the same organization that praised Woody Allen and Roman Polanski. Look, I like Roman Polanski's Rosemary's Baby, but shit, the man, he's a piece of shit. And they kind of defended his ass. No, Nash said, no, they really did defended his ass at the Oscars. Superman was better than the Abomination Man of Steel. Ooh, I gotta say this. I like Man of Steel, but yes, it is better. I should do a retro review on why I love Superman and why this movie works. Why Superman 2025 works. Who knows? I might do a retro review. I'm gonna do a look back at Supergirl when I get the 4K. I got the Steelbook and I cannot wait to get it. No, I'm very excited to rewatch Supergirl, to be honest, though. I want to take friends this time to see Supergirl, but I do want to rewatch it. I want to think about it. Did you just say you love? No, I like it. I don't love it, but I used to love it. And then upon rewatching it, oh, but brace yourself. Head Bandanen. Sorry, I butchered your name. Get ready for a Snyderverse trilogy retrospective. It's not gonna be pretty. Look, I do like Zack Snyder's work, but it's not gonna be pretty. Gloves are taking off, baby. One day. Ooh, one day. I might lose subscribers to this video, but one day, baby. Let's just say this. Gloves are taking off, and I'm gonna take jabs at the Snyderverse fans. Oh yeah. Bandana Man. And I'm not doing it a rage bait. I'm just doing a retro review of the Snyderverse trilogy. Let's just say this. Snyderverse fans, I don't care. They can come at me all they want. But here's the thing. Superman mops the floor with Man of Steel. I could say this. I like Man of Steel as something that is its own thing. But as a Superman movie, miss me with that shit. Miss me with that shit that you're gonna tell me Zack Snyder understood the character. He did not. And I'll explain when I actually do that retro review. Superman easily the best comic book film of all time. I'd say it's better than Dark Knight and Infinity Wars. Oh, I'd say it's up there. My favorite comic book film is Spider-Man 2. Infinity Wars, love Infinity Wars, Dark Knight, yeah. Superman, I think it's top 3. I might like it better than Christopher Reeve's Superman, if I'm being real. But I love Christopher Reeve's Superman, though. Without that movie, would not have the modern blockbuster, to be honest. And Tim Burton's Batman. I like Tim Burton's Batman, but as a Batman movie, it stops being a Batman movie at the third act, though. But yeah. But you know what? I'd rather have Superman love here than a Snyderverse fan saying how stupid I am or calling me names and slurs. So, listen, Snyderverse fans are never gonna beat the allegations, baby. They're never gonna beat the allegations. But yeah, Superman. I might do a retro review of that for the 1-year anniversary. I mean, I am planning to have not a watch along, maybe like not on stream, but I am planning to rewatch Superman again on 4K with my Dolby Atmos setup in this 4K TV. So this is a movie I pop in every now and then. Every time I watch Superman 2025, like it makes me feel better. Certain things. Listen, I just got through a heartbreak, and I just rewatched Superman, James Gunn Superman, and actually made me feel a bit better. Actually, so it gets the job done. It really it reminds me of why I love being a good person, you know. So yeah, with in James Gunn we trust. Oh yeah, listen, this is just a little stumble, but it's not the end. It's not doom and gloom. We still got Clayface, baby. Clayface. God damn, man. All the people who are freaking performative as hell. Trying to say Supergirl is the doom and gloom. Fuck that. So what? I don't like it as much as Superman, but I still like it. Fuck it. I don't care. I like the movie. I like Supergirl. And people say, well, it's not a big flex to say it's better than 84. Yes, it is better than 84. And I like 84 for how so bad it's fun. But I'm sorry, it was 2026. If I had to compare the two, 2026, holy shit, that movie's. It makes me want to watch it again right now because here's the thing though, Millie Alcock is Supergirl. Holy shit, was she that good? She is amazing. She is Supergirl. So, Man of Tomorrow, baby. I hope, and I hope it does. I hope it does make $1 billion because Superman proved that Superman is back. The real Superman is back. And when the screening I went to go see Supergirl, they cheered when David Cornsted was put the suit back on. And people are when we saw the two of them together on screen, it is you felt it. So I'm excited. I heard that James Gunn said he's going to include a lot of Supergirl. I hope that is the main characters are Supergirl, Superman, and Lex Luthor, and of course Brainiac's the villain. So I hope we get a lot of the cousins together. Despite him being PDF, we still Gunn. He is awesome. He isn't. We still love him. I don't think he's a PDF. No, he's not a PDF. No. Ezra Miller is. The Snyderverse fans want to say that he is such a good dude, but it's like y'all forgot what he was doing before the press of the Flash. Oh boy. So I gotta say this to Jay. To also, if you're gonna do a female-led superhero movie, I gotta say this. I think it's better to have a woman to direct the film. Somebody who directed Birds of Prey. I really love that movie. I don't know about Patty Jenkins though. She kind of did went off the rails with 84, and that movie's horrible. And I should do a retro review of that. Why the hell did I like that movie when I first saw that? Who knows? If you like it, great. But I fucking hate 84 right now. Retrospect, I hate Wonder Woman 84. But yeah, or somebody like Karen Kusama or Diablo Cody. Don't blame Snyderverse for the DCU's failure. Hamadaverse was even worse. That was a mess. I mean, mostly Warner Brothers did it. But then again, I gotta say, Zack Snyder also was not the right guy to get him to direct the DCEU. Because that guy clearly, especially if you watch his Joe Rogan podcast episode, he really did not understand Batman, where he said that, oh, he shot a guy, he killed a dude, he shot. No, he didn't. I had the comic book, I had the collector's edition, and I own the animated adaptation of it. I know what scene he's talking about. He doesn't kill the dude. He fires a gun, but he misses on purpose so he can scare the shit out of him because he knows he'll flinch. So. No, Dark Knight Returns Batman, he just beats the shit out of people relentlessly a bit. So, yeah, he doesn't kill, but whatever. Guns ablaze with BBS, baby. Again, gloves are taken off. The Hamadaverse. Look, I kind of like. I really, really love Aquaman. Shazam was good in my opinion. Shazam 2. Rewatching it, not so good, really. Jesus Christ. What is insane? I love 84. It was way better than Wonder Woman 1. Oh, that's awesome, man. Appreciate it. I love Wonder Woman 1, but I don't think it's insane. I don't think so. People have different opinions, different tastes, you know? I mean, I love Avengers Endgame, but a close friend of mine, Max, you guys know her in the channel, guys. She despises Endgame. So hey, I can't change her mind on that, and she can't change her mind on me for our differences on Endgame. But I don't think Endgame's perfect, especially watching it recently, and it has its flaws. Yeah, no, but listen, I'm just so glad that we should just have a healthy community, you know. It's people can agree and disagree on an opinion on a movie as long as people don't attack each other. But well, it is the internet, but I always do my best to respect people's opinion. I don't always I don't try. I always do. This film is subjective, and that's the beauty of it. No, really, I'm glad. I know that people, I'm letting it a lot of people that I know, all except for one person, they didn't like Scary Movie 6, except for one person. And you know what? That's cool. Great. He was sad that I didn't like it, but I was like, hey, look, hey, man, go for it, man. Have fun. Buy the physical, baby. Instead of, if you're gonna buy it, buy the physical, baby. Don't buy it digitally, buy it physically, baby. Come on now. You can wait an extra few days for the physical. You know, do it. 'Cause I'm doing it. Look at that. Look at all that behind me, baby. Uh, yeah. No, I've got my 4K Steelbook pre-order for Supergirl. I'm all set. I'm all set. Support it in the movie theater. Now I'm gonna support it again on physical. And you know what? I gotta say this. Before I, you know what? No. I'm gonna save this to the end, to the very end before I end the stream. So yeah, for my tip is James Gunn, try to be a bit more hands-on. Try to, you know what? If you really strive for diversity when it comes to the projects, try to get, when it comes to a female project, get a female to be fully in charge of it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. This movie, I gotta say, it should have been directed by a woman, honestly, because Barbie really resonated with people because of Greta Gerwig's touch, not because she's a woman, but because she actually understands female characters. Because she is a woman, she's a female. So, but then again, Tom King is a man, and he wrote it for his daughter, the original comic book. But then again, Greg Gillespie is good. He knows how to work with women. He knows how to work with women in roles. So I guess that's why he was selected to do it. Also, somebody left a very good comment on my review. Who was more critical of the film than I am, but he did say that hopefully the person who this is the same writer who's gonna write Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman, hopefully she takes the criticism and improves. And you know what? Yep. Because James Gunn has a purpose to bring her back. He does see potential, and you know what? Why waste that potential? I do see the potential. The sauce could have simmered a bit, but listen, even though in my opinion I was a bit disappointed when I first saw this, I'm more letting it go right now because of, well, looking back, putting back. Yeah, I still like the film. I still like it. I'm not ashamed of liking it. Neither should you. Nobody should be ashamed of liking or disliking a movie. So I really dug it. And I'm excited to get the 4K steelbook in the mail for me. And I will talk about it to people if it's worth buying on physical. Because then again, studio releases are very mixed bag on things. But no, hey, I'm glad that we have fans that like the movie. And yeah, with the closing thoughts, I got to say to Supergirl is that this movie is gonna be more appreciated in the future. And I gotta say this, yeah, the majority of people hating on it, you could tell they're misogynists. You could tell they have this agenda where they really don't like a strong female. Let's be real here, because I've seen some of the Rotten Tomato reviews, and a lot of them are disgusting. Variety was body shaming Millie Alcock like crazy. One guy left a review, and he talked about, I don't know, I don't like this one because I'm so used to women being pretty for me in front of the big screen, and it's like, how is this guy a movie critic? But the Variety one, I gotta say, is the worst one because of how disgusting it is. Very disgusting. Very freaking disgusting. Even people who are critical of the film, they call that review disgusting. How they're saying that this guy's a dinosaur movie critic. I've known this guy and he's a piece of shit. So they should have fired. Variety should have fired him. But again, Variety is terrible. They're the ones who are being racist towards Sinners when Sinners was being successful. I wouldn't be shocked if they're right now saying stupid shit about Obsession. So hey, but yeah, that and the New York Post. Don't get me fucking started with New York Post. But yeah, but this movie though, it's gonna be beloved in the future. That's what I'm trying to say. This movie's gonna be beloved in the future. People are gonna shit on it now, and I feel that it's gonna be beloved in the near future. Maybe sooner than you think. So, hey, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm actually instead liking it a bit more because I still had fun. I left with a smile. I did wanted more at the same time, but I did leave with a smile. And this guy next to me, he was getting because they were gonna see Supergirl next. Their screening was right after mine, and this guy was very excited, and he's like, "Oh, hope it's good, man. Hope it doesn't suck." And I turned around and looked at him and said, "I liked it. You'll be good, man." You'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. Oh, I really like the comic book. It's really good. Oh, it doesn't follow the comic book that closely, but I think you'll like it. I hope you like it, man. I liked it. So I left with my foreskin cup in my hand. Oh boy, so that was my spoiler discussion talk of Supergirl. Let me just keep on with the chat here. Supergirl is awesome. Milan Kaka Supergirl. Yep, Patty Jenkins should have directed Supergirl or gone. Oh, that's a good point, Bandana Man. That's a very good point. Either Patty or James Gunn. I said that Patty was a bit here and there, but Patty Jenkins is a great director. So you know what? Yeah, I take it back. Maybe Patty should have directed. If Supergirl doesn't get nominated for Best Picture this year, right? You know what? Nominated for at least maybe the sound design. Sound design was very good. Or you know what? Best Actress. She was really good. I think Oscars need to reevaluate their shit. I know the Razzies need to get removed, in my opinion, especially after what they did to Shelley Duvall. But anyways, guys, what y'all think? Anything you guys want to questions and all that stuff? We could stream for an extra 5 more minutes. It's an hour and 21 in, so an hour and 26. I'm gonna end the stream. But anybody want to add further comments? Oh shit! What made you a DC fan? Not the comics though, but it was I can't say Dark Knight either. But I remember I'm from Chicago. I'm in Chicago. I live in Chicago all my life. And I remember when the Dark Knight hype was going on and they were shooting around, and that felt very good. Earliest memory of being a DC fan, actually, I could say Chris Reeve or Tim Burton's Batman, but actually it is the Batman animated series that would made me a DC fan. I have it's buried underneath behind my Stanley Kubrick collection, but Batman the animated series made me a DC fan. And I kind of was being made fun of for being a Batman fan. This is before like the Dark Knight trilogy fully took off. But Batman was my dude. I mean, Spider-Man was I was more of I was still more of a Marvel kid. Even I'm still more of a Marvel than DC fan, but Jesus, Batman was my life as a kid. And I love the Superman. I rented the VHS tape and I finally got the DVD for $5 at Sam's Club when I was a little kid of the Batman Superman movie. Basically, it's the 3-part Superman episode where Batman and Superman team up. No, it's a 3-part Superman show from the Superman series. See if I get right here. So there's World's Finest is on this set. I've yet to open it, but yeah, it's on this set. World's Finest. And I really made me a huge Superman fan as a kid. And then came these few things. I watched select episodes as a kid, and when they were broadcast, it is the Justice League, the original lineup, and there was Justice League Unlimited. And then not too long after that, I grew up with this Batman, the Batman. This was really cool here, folks. I really grew up with it's mainly the animation, and then that's when I started renting some comic books as a kid, and then just knowing some of just a big ensemble of villains and characters. And not too long, there's this bookstore called B. Dalton, and I'm trying to look for this. B. Dalton, before Barnes & Noble was a huge, Barnes & Noble was a thing since the beginning, but B. Dalton, there was in the mall I grew up in, I would go to. They had this place called B. Dalton, and that's where I got my first true DC comic book from my dad, and it was a paperback edition of The Death of Superman. And just seeing Doomsday mop the floor with the current Justice League, you get Booster Gold there, and just see Superman die. I know he comes back. Oh, my dog's snoring. Superman dies, and that is just crazy. That panel with Lois dying, that's crazy. And those haunting words that a Superman died. That is insane. And I remember also reading a comic book. I don't know if it's a Superman comic book. I think it was either Lana or Lois that died. And the cover is Superman crying with a woman in his arms. I don't know if it's Lois or Lana that died or something like that. And I remember this is the first time I ever saw like a book with two people kissing. And it was this big deep kiss with Superman and whoever. I think it was Lois, yeah, kissing. I think yeah, it's a comic book where she dies, I believe. And the cover was him with her dying in his arms. I think that is the first comic book I actually early read. I think it was Superman that I read. But the first full graphic novel, like the whole issues collected, was The Death of Superman. So even though I was more of a Batman fan, Superman was most of the comic books I read, really. Then, of course, the Marvel. I read the Spider-Man, which is awesome. Then I read, of course, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men. So, but the animated series, that's what made me a DC fan. Not the live action movies were I paid more attention to them when I was more of a teenager, but as a kid, yeah, I would have watched them. They're really cool, but never fully paid attention to them. But animated series is from every era made me a fan of DC. Like I said, I'm more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy, but my heart's still with DC still, you know. I love both. Even though I like more Marvel, mainly because they got Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. When it comes to live action superhero films, yeah, Marvel was more my thing though because man, Spider-Man was huge as a kid when I was a kid, and not long after that, then came the Dark Knight trilogy. So it's I grew up good. I grew up good. I grew up good. We grew up good. We millennials grew up good with superhero movies, to be honest. Before the MCU. Doing unboxing. I want to see the inside of the case. I only have the Batman 2004 out of the rest. I want a Peacemaker for Superman movie. Make it happen, James. You know what? I'll probably do an unboxing of that as a regular video. Maybe I'll do a Blu-ray review of those sets. But then again, there's nothing home. I already saw it unboxing that. I've seen what those are. It's just a thick cases. What's your favorite DC film, and did you end up securing anything from that barn sale? I see some stuff is selling out like uncut gems. Surprisingly, I had to go to a far barns in my area to get it. Love you, bro. Love you too, man. Love you too. So first question, first answer right there was my favorite DC film. Uh, that is a tough one, but currently I say by a hair might be Superman, the new James Gunn Superman. But it's kind of neck and neck with the Dark Knight because the Dark Knight, that's a whole nother level, man. That is filmmaking 101. But James Gunn's Superman, it is. I don't know what's a. James Gunn is a favorite director of mine, but so is Chris Nolan. But the thing is that I think I have to be in the very good mood to watch The Dark Knight, and for some reason. But with James Gunn's Superman, uh, for some reason, I'm always in the mood. I don't know why. I just go back to it, and I just feel good. You feel nice. You know, you feel great. Also, I think this movie came out at a great time during dark times we have in the world right now, and we do need a good Superman here. So for the Barnes and Noble, I'm gonna go to Barnes right now. I'm gonna go to Barnes. I'm gonna go see Jackass tomorrow. And before that, I am gonna go shopping at Barnes Noble. I am catching an early show for I don't know how it's gonna work. So I'm catching an early show for Jackass. So I don't know if I'm gonna shop after or before. Trying to aim for a before. But right now I'm trying to look to see if I have I'm gonna double check my collection. I'm trying to secure Bound on 4K. Um what else? There's another one. Hairspray. That's the one I want to get. The 4K. I want all these to be 4Ks. Hairspray, Bound. I need to get that one. Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon. Uh, I might get Sanjuro and Yojimbo from Akira Kurosawa. I might get that box set. That's a big might. It's a pricey one, but I like it. uh, I've already secured my pre-order for Stanley Kubrick. So, but then again, I'm paying the full $480 right there, baby. There's another one that I want. I'm not. I was gonna get Brazil, but haven't. I need to watch Brazil again one more time. My Blu-ray for Brazil. Trying to get that. Wes Anderson box set, forget about it for now. Maybe I'll get it as a flash sale. Because I got the Stranger Things sets coming in. What else? Yeah, I think just the I'll see what they got at my Barnes& and Noble because they usually stock pretty good. Mostly Blu-rays and the 4Ks to be honest, but I am trying to aim for 4Ks. If they don't have a 4K, I'm not getting it. I love Blu-ray, but if there's a 4K option, I'm getting that. uh, but I am gonna do a belated 4K Criterion review of the Eyes Wide Shut because Stanley Kubrick and all that stuff coming up. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to get Bound. I'm trying to get at least Bound. Uncut Gems is sold out. That is, I think, yeah, Uncut Gems is a good 4K. Damn it, I freaking have it hidden back there. But yeah, let me see what I can. Let me see. I'm looking at some Criterion. Huh. Hmm. Oh well, I don't know. Maybe I can do some Criterion. No, maybe not. I was gonna think of doing a top Criterion to check out, but I'm just gonna probably stick to my pick up there. But yeah, love you two's S1329. Love you too, man. So, oh wow, the stream's going on longer than I thought. But yeah, yeah. Excited for that Eyes Wide Shut review, bro. It has to be my favorite non-action cruise alongside Vanilla Sky. Haha, yeah, baby. I'm gonna. I don't know why this transfer is controversial, but I will explain soon. But let's just say this: Stanley Kubrick, before he passed away, did not get a chance to color grade this film or edit the film. So for the first time ever, they got the actual one of his assistants here to one of the people involved in this supervise how it's supposed to look. So we got this. We basically got a true transfer. Apparently, people say it's revisionism. I don't think so, but I've heard people say that's how it looked like in the theater. Who knows? But this is something to do like maybe like a near 20-minute video of this. Yeah, Lost Kubrick, the unfinished film, Stanley Kubrick. This is a treasure trove of Kubrick. This is a love letter to Kubrick. So this is a long overdue review. I wanted to recover it when it came out, but I just was so busy with work. Stay tuned around this month. Hopefully, this month I'll finally do the review of Eyes Wide Shut before this gets archived for the box set coming up. But speaking of Kubrick, tomorrow I will, before I go watch Jackass, I am and go to shopping at Barnes& and Noble for the Criterion sale. I am gonna upload my Kubrick collects physical media collection video, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. Hopefully, I wake up extra early in the morning with that. Bro, it's so good. I watched that film with my friend the other day, and he hated it. I don't know. He just couldn't come around it. Love that. Yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie, and they use the extended. I think it's the extended international cut. I love Eyes Wide Shut. It is just like turmoil between a dysfunctional relationship and just the whole sex cult thing. It's crazy. And I gotta say this. That orgy scene was kind of hot. That's just me though. I don't care. Look, Kubrick knows how to shoot a hot scene. Oh, but I cannot wait to what they got in store for more Kubrick with the Criterion collection. So, but yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. Love that movie. Freaking love it. It's very good movie. I think the most underrated one, though, in my opinion, it's still Barry Lyndon. If you guys ever want to watch that, get the Criterion 4K if you can. The Blu-ray is amazing though, but if you have the 4K equipment, get the Criterion 4K. Packaging is better. Oh, I got it right here. Hold on. What am I doing? Yeah, Barry Lyndon from the Criterion Collection. Stanley Kubrick. This movie, it is. I love this movie. Ryan O'Neal. 3 this set. Basically, the story is about an Irishman named Redmond Barry who works up in the upper class of England, and you see his downfall. So let's just say this: he's a complex dude, but he's kind of a piece of shit, kind of a douchebag, really. So, but awesome fucking movie. The rise and fall, kind of like from rags to riches to rags. It's kind of like that story if you want to really get down to it. Very freaking damn good movie. This movie is underrated as hell. Underrated. Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon. Again, get the 4K Criterion Collection. Or just wait for the box set to come out, because it's going to be on this one. This movie's going to be on the set. Okay, folks. Okay, now with that, I'm gonna just end the stream right here. I gotta say this. Thank you. Yeah, it was so good on my plasma screen. I have a downscaler that makes my 4Ks look incredible. I loved it, but I secured uncut gems. Nice. After hours in Mean Streets the other day at Barnes. Nice. You know what? I might get Mean Streets. I might get Mean Street in After Hours. That's a big, huge might though. But that's a let's see what my budget will let. If my budget will let me. So, oh, folks, who knows? I just got in the mail Elephant Man on 4K. So I'm gonna do a physical media of that hopefully this week. Mean Streets is amazing, bro. It needed to be in the collection. You'll love it. Nice. I have not seen Mean Streets. Yeah, but I got a David Lynch film from Criterion today. Elephant Man. I got the old Blu-ray here. I've got the old Blu-ray here. This is the old Blu-ray, and right now I'm looking at my package right there. I have the 4K secured, but yeah, I pre-ordered it immediately, and I also used my $10 Christmas code. So for it, so this is Elephant Man. I'm gonna cry again on 4K, but yeah, this is the Blu-ray, and I can't wait to cry again on 4K. But Elephant Man, the Blu-ray is great. I cannot wait to see how the 4K looks. Alrighty then, folks. So with that, I'm gonna end the stream here. I gotta get that one too, bro. Love your collection. Thank you, appreciate it, man. Well, speaking of collection, stay tuned, cause this week I'm gonna be covering this. I'm excited to talk about this box set, baby. Oh my god, I thank you, Arrow, so much for this. Thank you so much for this existing Arrow. Thank you for this. Sick. Yeah, no way you got that. Oh yeah, the Mortal Kombat. Hell yeah, pre-ordered it, and I think I used some of my rewards for that. But yeah, Mortal Kombat. I'm so freaking hyped. I will do an unboxing for you guys for the review, but for now, you just gotta stay tuned. Mortal Kombat. This is insane. I cannot wait to talk about this. I'm gonna try not to fanboy too much talking about this set, but get ready, folks. I have the old Blu-rays. I don't know if I should upgrade, but I might not. I love Anneli so much. It's so I have nostalgia for that movie though. I know that looking back at it as an adult, I would say this, it's so bad it's fun. I don't know. Come on now. Mother, you're alive. Too bad you will die. I mean, freaking Arrow video to, freaking, it's in the back of the freaking Annihilation disc. I was like, too bad you will die. It's hilarious. Do it, bro. I'm excited. No, I'm gonna talk about the set. I'm gonna fanboy it. I'm gonna just go on. I'm gonna be hopefully in depth with this. But ooh, man, Bridget Wilson, goddamn. Watching Bridget Wilson on 4K, goddamn. Let me just give a little taste of what's to come with this one. The 4K is perfect. The video quality is excellent. The 5.1 surround sound, it is just insane. The bass is so booming. You might have to turn your bass down a bit, but the bass is insane. So it's Ooh, you're gonna be taken back to the 90s in this one, man. This is a good one. I mean, yeah, the CGI looks pretty bad, but Goro looks amazing on 4K. And a lot of little nuanced jokes that I kind of didn't get when I was a bit younger. I get it much more here. And especially with the cleaner audio track, I really hear more of a Christopher Lambert's dialogue. You can hear his accent coming out. The fate of the world depends on you. Sorry. You really like, you're still running away from your destiny. I'm like, oh, I can hear your accent because he sounded, American in when I watched it on DVD and VHS as a kid. But I never bought the Blu-ray, and this is a big jump in the audio quality. I heard the accent. A bit no, Christopher Lambert's Raiden. I love his Raiden. He is so cool. Kind of still has that raspy voice, and he sounds so cool. And James Remar, he was all right, Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld. Oh yeah, and goddamn that dude Shao Kahn. I cannot wait to hear his. It's because the reason why I haven't put a review out is because I've yet to watch Annihilation, but I'm looking forward to seeing Annihilation on 4K. It's the 4K of the first movie. It's perfect. It's perfect. There is one bonus feature that they forgot to add in, but for some reason they talk about it in the booklet, and I'll talk about that in the review. But yeah, that's why I might not upgrade because the audio track and there's no way because the audio track and there's no new bonus features. Sadly, I love my two Blu-rays. I bought those when they first dropped. I have so much nostalgia for those. What's your favorite Mortal Kombat game before you go on? I don't want to keep you in here. No, that's fine. Um, well, the audio track sounds amazing though, so you'll be fine. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if you want to upgrade after this, after my review. Hopefully, hopefully I'll convince all of you. My favorite Mortal Kombat game, it's gonna have to be two, especially with the new difficulty sliders they finally added on the collection. Thank goodness the game is playable now. But Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite one. From the modern games, I'd say probably Mortal Kombat X. That's pretty cool for the modern games. That plays smoothly, baby. Hey Max, I'm about to end the stream. Oh, I'm actually gonna about to end the stream soon. But you can always check the VOD out, I did give you a shout out. Oh my god, my freaking hand. Um, but yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite one. That's my favorite, Mortal Kombat 2. So the arcade version, but the Super Nintendo was fine. I had to walk the dogs. Oh, hope they had fun. No, you're good, Max. I hope you check out the VOD. Hopefully hopefully you enjoy the VOD and all that stuff after this. Let me know. I have a soundbar with a subwoofer, and I heard the 5.1 track is the same as the new release. So yeah, 5.1 track, yeah. I never bought the Blu-ray, but I mostly know from the DVD and VHS, so it was a big upgrade for me. But you also get the 2.0 stereo track, the theatrical mix, so that is pretty cool. But I'd say stick to the 5.1 because it's basically the theatrical mix just up mix to 5.1, and it sounds crazy. So now kudos to Arrow for for doing this release. Holy shit, man. I love Inky 2 as well, bro. Same with MKX. Love that. Yeah. Love Kitana. Yeah. What was my shout out? Oh, the gear and just talking about what? Yeah, what was it? Talking about how film is subjective, how just this and that, and about Snyder and James Gunn liking the films and talking about how you and I are indifferent with Avengers Endgame, how you hate it and I love it. It's like that, but we're never gonna like get at each other because film is subjective, just about love and all that stuff. It's not about like I just use our disagreement on Endgame as an example about love, how like, at the end of the day, it's movies, it's all subjective. But also I gave you a shout out, just like, just freak a friend and collaborate and all that stuff, which is great. Uh but yeah, no, and probably your love for Supergirl also. It's Jesus fucking Christ, these fake boots scared the shit out of me. But it's no, I dropped your name a couple times in good faith. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Uh I'm a very transparent guy. So if I were to talk shit to anybody, I'll wait till they're here and I'll talk shit. I'm gonna be real yet. I like to be honestly talk shit to people's faces when they're here, not when they're right behind my back or when they have their backs turned. Uh, Not a confrontational dude, but when somebody has to speak out, I say something. But yeah, no, it's yeah, just nothing but love. But yeah, MK2 is my favorite. Do you want to play 2, 3 matches after this? I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Just give me about I could play 3 matches. Yeah, since I got tomorrow off, I'm gonna see Jackass tomorrow and Criterion sale. So, and also I'm gonna get off this. I want to get off of this suit. This thing is so fucking hot. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I want to thank everybody that stopped by and said hello. And really, folks, I gotta say this before I close the stream here. I still like Supergirl, despite my complaints. I still like it. And you know what, folks, watch it for yourselves. If you haven't seen it, just go see it, form your own opinion. And freaking, I feel like this movie's gonna be more well loved in the future. To be honest, that's just me though. I'll love Supergirl when the 4K is out. Max, I think you're gonna love this movie way more than me, to be honest. Cause yeah, because this I was gonna say, this feels like more your area when it comes to female empowerment, which is really cool. But then again, I said it wrong. I need to say it right. I love female empowerment, but at the end of the day, I'm still a dude with a penis. So it I'm never gonna understand what it's like to be in the shoes of a woman. So at the end of the day, this is more of a that's what I'm trying to say. There you go. But yeah, I just love the character of Supergirl. You're gonna love her here, and you might agree what she does at the end. I already spoiled it for people, but yeah, it's I agree with what she does. I gotta say that she definitely had a choice, unlike Clark in Man of Steel. But I kind of agree with what she does here. But hey, that's what makes her Supergirl and not Superwoman or all that stuff. So yeah, she hasn't had the best movie shows, but who cares? Yeah, I'd say this is better than the Supergirl TV show that just wrapped up. I'm sorry, but look, I love was it Melissa Benoist, whatever her name is. Sorry, and I know Don has met her. Very nice, but great actress. But her character of Kara Zor-El was not a good one. I watched a couple episodes, and I'm just like, I'd rather watch actual Superman show. I'd rather watch Smallville, and I love Smallville, but I'd rather rewatch Smallville than Supergirl because this just feels like a female Superman, kind of like with the Helen Slater version. She's just basically her cousin, just with boobies. Um, is this a step up from the '84 movie though? I say yes, but yeah, Wonder Woman hasn't had the best either. Yeah, I really like the first one. I do love Linda Carter as Superwoman though. I think her TV show was good. And I'm never gonna count the animated series because those are the best, of course. Those the animated shows are the best. They are the best adaptations outside the comic books, in my opinion. But yeah, 2017 Wonder Woman is generally good, but they got lucky. Yeah. Patty Jenkins, I think they should bring her back for the DCU. Maybe she should direct the Supergirl sequel. Who knows? Got some ideas thrown around. I gotta say this. Supergirl should have been, as much as I love Greg Gillespie and he knows how to work with women. I say this: a woman should have directed this movie because it'll gravitas more with a bigger female audience for this one. But that's just me. Give me a list of the player. We'll see. We'll see. I know that people are saying Adria Arjona, but she's already playing somebody else in the DCU. So yeah, or Indy. Indy. Ooh, Max. Okay, you're cooking. Indy Navarrete as Supergirl. I mean, as a Wonder Woman. Holy shit. Look, if Melissa can't do it, I'd say Indy. Holy shit, Max. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. No, it's Melissa or Indy for Wonder Woman. Holy shit. But hey, unfortunately, yeah, this film flopped, Supergirl, but it's gonna get its money back. At the end of the day, it's gonna get its money back. Superwoman, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But it's gonna get its money back. It might break even. Who knows? Who knows? But it might get a bigger sale and audience in physical media. And I say the physical media sales are gonna be big for this one instead. So yeah, I think the heat wave is the main cause for it. Oh, I'm getting a heat wave now in this costume. Jesus Christ, I think I'm losing weight. Similar thing happened with the Bone Temple. Ah, okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, who knows? Bone Temple. Yeah, Bone Temple didn't do good, but it's doing well on physical media. So eh, yeah, listen, it's good. It's I'd say it's finding its audience. It's a bit too little, too late. I'd say no, very little, too late. But it's finding its audience. It's and let's be real, folks. Before I leave, let's be real here. A lot of the negative reviews on Rotten Tomato, just the negative reviews, are misogynistic. Really, I mean, Variety. Fucking this one dude that was like, I'm so used to women being looking pretty, on the big screen for me, but that's just me. So I have to fuck out of here. Very disgusting. The Bone Temple was for those who love 28 Days. Yeah, and I think for Supergirl, I think it's for people who love Supergirl. That's the thing. That's the thing. And Millie does look pretty. She is hot as hell. She is a goddess. And Millie is what really made this movie for me. The Supergirl. She's Supergirl. She's perfect. In my opinion, I'm gonna be this bold. I'm gonna be this bold, and I'm gonna freaking say this. I don't care how bold I sound, but I know this is very bold. Millie Alcock is the best Supergirl we've ever had, live action wise. That I said it, and I'm not ashamed of saying it. Yeah. And Endgame is for those who love Marvel, not for the casuals like me. Well, I say this: Endgame is for casuals, but the thing is that for for Endgame to get kind of, I gotta say this, to kind of really get the full effect, though, you have to watch all the movies and understand where all of this big event was leading up to. But here's the thing, though, is that yeah, if you're gonna be dipping your toes in the end game right away, you're like, what's going on? So it's my dad is not a big fan of Endgame. That's because he hasn't seen any of the other movies and he doesn't get it. But it's Infinity War did it better, and I'd say yeah, Infinity War really did do it better. And I love Endgame. It's the perfect sequel to Infinity War and a perfect end cap to the Infinity Saga. And yeah, but it's I do have my issues with the movie. Don't get me wrong. The time traveling is pretty ridiculous, but it's with every movie with multiverse and time travel, you're gonna have a lot of fucking holes, unfortunately. So it's even people who love Endgame, they say that yeah, the time traveling is stupid. So it's but it does it makes you it's when they go back in time, though, especially with the events of 2012, the first Avengers movie, that scene and on Endgame, watching it, it felt so melancholy. It's you're saying goodbye. That's another reason why I love Endgame is because you're saying goodbye to this era. You're saying goodbye until the multiverse kind of fucked it up. But it's I like the time traveling also. I like some of the time traveling mainly for the I can't say nostalgia. Yeah, the nostalgia, but more like it's saying goodbye. And it's like, especially with Tony Stark's death, you're saying goodbye. It started with Tony and it ends with Tony, and I'm like, fuck. Goddamn. So and I'm excited to check out Endgame Avengers Endgame Encore if I can get a ticket. Let's see what they got in store for us with that one. Because the first re-release wasn't all that special. It's just deleted scenes that they released in home video anyways. So this one, they got some more stuff. Hopefully a new documentary. Who knows? Hopefully it's worth it. If not, I'll let you guys know about it. But yeah, it's rewatching it. Every time I rewatch Endgame, I'm just like, wow, this is if it takes me back to that one time when I was saying like getting choked up here. When you're saying goodbye to these characters. This especially with it's kind of with Guardians 3. You saying goodbye. Even James Gunn is basically saying bye to Marvel too. It's kind of like a fuck you sequel to Marvel when you think about it. But at the same time, he's saying goodbye. These are not the same Guardians you're gonna know. So, and it ends with a new Guardians team. So, It's that I think that's one of the big reasons why I love Endgame. You're just saying goodbye, and who knows? This when James Gunn's new DCU comes to an end with all these Justice League movies, I feel like they're gonna wrap it up. Unlike Marvel, they're gonna wrap DC up and maybe start fresh in about a decade or two or three. Because I feel like James Gunn, because even James Gunn had input on Endgame too. He had input on Endgame, but mainly as executive producer, more like not writing, more like characters and maybe some notes on how to do the Guardians in this situation. Even though like he has some good points for his how he could have done Infinity War, but it is what it is. But yeah, I feel like with James Gunn's approach with the DCU though, with this one, I feel like they're gonna actually end it. Like they're gonna end it if they're gonna have an end game here. So who knows? We'll see. Time travel not as bad as Ghidorah. Godzilla vs. Ghidorah is a I think the main issue with Endgame and time travel was it drags a bit too much. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, it does. It does kind of drag a bit too much in some areas, especially with like when they explain the movie stops and explains this whole like all the Infinity Stones being moved around. I'm like, but then again, I'm like, isn't it gonna affect your timeline still? Because you're still in your timeline. It's whatever. Because multiverse makes sense, but with time travel, I don't know. But yeah, the time traveling stuff, I like the espionage moments a bit, and it's a you know, eh, but I get it can drag a bit for people. I get it, especially it gets very convoluted when it comes to the time traveling. But that final fight at the end, the portal scenes, the fight between Thanos, even with the Infinity Stones, Thanos mops the floor with them. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And that freaking line, of course, it's in the trailer, but that line, you couldn't live with your own failure. What did that brought you back to me? I'm like, God damn. And they even asked him, the Infinity Stones are right there, and he just sits down and he's like, "So what are you gonna do?" Like, wait. And I'm like, oh my god, Josh Brolin as Thanos is crazy again. But Darkseid is more powerful. Let's see who James Gunn casts for Darkseid. And you know what? I'm gonna end the stream here. Again, you know what? Give me like a minute. You know what's funny is that people like to rag on James Gunn, but it's James Gunn that Josh Brolin got casted as Thanos. They couldn't get somebody right to play Thanos. He was just a CGI character in the earlier movies, but James Gunn, I think it was James Gunn's idea to cast Josh Brolin as Thanos. And we see Thanos, Josh Brolin as Thanos for the first time in where? Guardians 1. People are seeing a true actor play Thanos, and he did not disappoint. He's like, your politics bore me. Your politics bore me, child. And he was ready to get, even though like the villain kind of was, I didn't say he sucked, but he was very bland. Rowan the Accuser, even he threatened the villain of the first Guardians movie. He threatened Ronan the Accuser. He was like, he was ready to stand up and beat his ass. I was like, oh god. Even Ronan was trying to act all tough, but even then he was shaking through his boots because I'm like, that's how you do casting. Holy shit. Josh Brolin as Thanos is great. And you know what? Thanks to James Gunn. Yeah, you could say Kevin Feige also, but who wanted Josh Brolin as Thanos in his movie? James Gunn. So again, and James Gunn is still, he doesn't know comic books. Okay. It's not that he started this. It's not just that he started the stones in that universe. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Max. Even James Gunn, the Infinity Stones. Yeah, they're kind of playing that out a bit, but James Gunn was like, let's bring the Infinity Stones. Here's the thing: people also forget that. It's funny how I love the MCU, but James Gunn was part of the MCU success. He also had very creative input, and James Gunn was originally supposed to be in charge of either the MCU after Kevin left, or in charge of a Galaxy branch. But then the whole thing with those dumb tweets he did like 20 years ago. But yeah, Max, you're right. Thanos and the Infinity Stones, James Gunn. I mean, they already were kind of planning the Infinity Stones. Even then, at this point, it was more like, and this is before Ultron. This is before Ultron. Um, they were just like he was just a looming threat. Thanos was just up to something. Even though again it was planned out, but what was being planned out? What the I think Kevin was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. What is gonna be the driving factor of Thanos? Even though he's a bit, yeah, the Infinity Stones, but then James Gunn's like, no, Infinity Stones. In the comic books, people know Thanos as the guy to hold the Infinity Stones. But then again, even then, Thanos was way more the Infinity Stones. So it's but James Gunn was like, no, I in my movie, I want the Power Stone. And there was another stone. I think it was no, the Tesseract. No, the Infinity Stones was in the first Avengers, but the Tesseract was a whole different thing. No, wait a minute. No, the Infinity Stones were introduced in Captain America, the first Avenger, but it was the Tesseract. It was not. It was more of a portal, like a portal thing. But the full Infinity Stones, yeah, you're right, Max. Though, but the full development of the Infinity Stones was because of James Gunn. It was his idea. Like, what if the Tesseract was an Infinity Stone? And it's like, fuck. Like the Tesseract. What if like James Gunn is like, what if the Tesseract was the Infinity Stone? And freaking Kevin was like, oh my god, you're cooking, James. Yeah, right, yeah. And then I got a good guy to cast as Thanos. Let's get Josh Brolin. And then Kevin was like, oh my god, yes. Yeah, like I want him in my movie. Can I have Thanos in my movie? Like, yes, you can. You can, James. And look at that. Okay, that's not how it kind of went down, but yeah. But no, hey, look, James Gunn also had some good input on the MCU success. So, and James Gunn we trust for the DCU. Now, who's gonna be Darkseid? Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out. I'm actually more interested in who's gonna be Darkseid than who's gonna be Batman, to be honest. So, yeah, I think Batman will be fine, but with Darkseid, let's see who it is. All right, folks. Now I'm gonna end the stream here. I want to thank everybody who stopped by and supported the stream, and yeah, that is my spoiler discussion for Supergirl. So with that, folks, good night, good morning, good afternoon, where you guys are in the world, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.